and this is my abandoned early 1900s general store. Today I am taking you on a full tour through the building. I know so many of you have been asking to see the upstairs. We're gonna do it. Let's get straight into it, but just before we do, cheers to my mom and cheers to all of your loved ones as well. Okay, let's go. So something that you probably have already noticed, and one of the coolest things I think about the building, is the ceiling tiles. They're so unique, you can't find or produce ceiling tiles like this anymore. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to keep them because some of them are obviously in really rough shape. If I'm not able to use them on the ceiling, I'm gonna find some other way to use them just to honor what was here, because they are such a huge part of the history and just the overall aesthetic of the design of the building. All right, now I'm gonna show you one of my other favorite things, which is the display shelves. So these shelves are obviously they're original to the building. I don't want to touch them. I want to leave them exactly as they are. Once this window, which right now is just plywood, used to be a window and will be a window in the future. Once I get the window in, this is going to be my plant corner. So I'm just going to have plants everywhere. I actually my dad found this bottle tucked away in these shelves over in the corner. For some reason, they were just tucked back in there hiding. And something else that I love about the shelves is the beadboard, which they also decided to put in the ceiling or on the ceiling. It's in such great shape, and obviously I'm going to try to leave that. So also in the front of the store on the other side is the wood stove that we installed, so I'll show you that.
You want to warm up for a sec?
Yeah. Do you need to warm up?
I'm good.
Really?
This hoodie's so warm. I'm wearing boots, warm socks.
I'm just so cold. This wood stove was actually in the building when I bought it. This whole area was just collapsed wood essentially because the wood has molded, it's rotted, it's no good. So I cleaned out basically all of the collapsed wood, and my dad and his crew installed the wood stove here. If you look a little bit further along this wall, you'll see these display shelves. I think that what they used these for was probably for flour and grain, maybe bags of grain. They could have put it under the shelves or on top of the shelves. I'm not exactly positive, but the reason that I think that is because if you look down there, you'll see another shelf. So you can see on this shelf, the tags are still here. And this one says flour, 75 cents. This one says meal, what is that, 22 cents? It's pretty awesome that those are still on the shelves. I'm gonna be sad when I have to remove it, but I do want to actually use these shelves in the greenhouse coming someday soon, hopefully, maybe this spring. So as I told you before, most of the floor over here has rotted out, but something pretty cool is that you can actually see the brick foundation of the building. So whenever I start rebuilding the floor, I'll be rebuilding it on top of that brick foundation. And if you take a look at the floor that's left back here, you can see how rotted it is. And I think the reason that it ended up rotting as much as it did is because they didn't use moisture barrier on the floor back then. All right, so let's go back to the front of the building and I'll take you to the other wall. So now we're back at the front of the building in my plant corner, and we're gonna move over to the tool shelves. If you've been watching any of my other videos, you know that I've been cleaning off these shelves for what feels like forever, but I finally got them clean. These shelves were basically filled with tools and just so many different kinds of things. You can go watch those videos if you want. I am going to try to find ways to use this throughout the building. I think I might have to disassemble them and try and fit them into other spaces in the building, but I'm definitely keeping these. These are not going anywhere, and I know those of you who watch my videos also love them, so I'm excited to keep them around the property. So as you can tell, these shelves are kind of falling over. That happened somewhat recently, not since I've owned the building, but they are a little bit dangerous to be working around. I'm really excited to start cleaning these out and discover what's hidden back in the back, because I found some cool old bottles. So I feel like there's gonna be some treasures in here, and I'm really excited to see what's left. So these shelves are behind this counter, which I believe was the checkout counter at one point. I am planning to keep this counter and use it actually as the kitchen island. If you come around the back of the counter, you'll see that they have this safe where I assume that they put money every day, although I don't know that for sure, but it's really cool. It's been opened. There's nothing on the inside, no treasure, but it's still awesome. My friends and I actually went digging in the backyard in one of the mounds, and we found all of these bottles just in probably 2 hours in one of the mounds. So I decided to put them up here because they look cool. And we'll take a look at the other end of the shelves. This is where these shelves are actually the furthest from the wall, and I have heard them creak a little bit. There are still a lot of papers that I haven't even looked at or gone through. Up here, there are a bunch of newspapers, and I don't know how old they are, but I'm guessing that they are pretty old, so stay tuned. In a future video, I will show those and any other papers that I find over here. If we step back a little bit, you can see this fridge. I haven't plugged it in yet, but if it does work, I'm definitely going to keep it. And if it doesn't work, I'm definitely going to get it restored because I want to keep it. I'll show you the inside. It's in surprisingly great shape, so definitely keep her. Excited to use that in the future. Right next to me is this very odd contraption that I don't believe was here when the store was built. And believe it or not, it's a can crusher. I don't remember how we figured that out because it certainly isn't obvious when you look at it. I think somebody told us what it was at one point. I will have no need for this in the future, so this will not be here in the future, but it's cool that it's here now. Just behind the fridge is this room that I think was used as an office. Some of you will recognize the safe, which no, we haven't gotten into it yet, but my friends are absolutely determined to get into it, so stay tuned. We're gonna do our best. Also on the wall here hanging up are some antique papers. Some of them mention Kennedy, some of them are like old tax collection receipts. At some point, I'm gonna have my website opened up so that if you're really into old papers like this or old items in general, I'll have a lot of stuff for sale. So stay tuned for that as well. There's also this antique chair over here. It's pretty cool. It's missing one of the parts of the seat, but I think I actually have the piece around here somewhere. So maybe I'll be able to actually keep that and use that in the future. There are also some other really cool vintage items around here that if I can't find a use for, I'll probably sell on my website.
Are you not psyched about that yo-yo? I didn't notice that. To me, it was like, oh,
I know, it's
yo-yo.
cool, right? It is cool.
Is that lead?
Oh, could be.
What did I just touch?
I don't know. Wave your hand up. So this office, I believe, was used by one of the previous owners of the building who was an architect. So there were a lot more papers back here. I've sort of cleaned some of it, but you can see there's a topography map and some other cool items back here. Let's head into the back of the building without dying. So before we go to the back, you'll notice that there's a loft up here, and I don't really know what they used it for. Right now there's just some furniture up there. I'm guessing that they probably just used it for storage, but this is all going to come down because it's unstable. So let's go to the back.
A little bit like this might be for your dad's horror film.
Yeah. So back here under the loft area, there are some shelves with tools, some display cabinets, some Mountain Dew bottles, all different kinds of things. I haven't actually even explored this area yet, so we'll see what we find when I get there. But there is this pretty cool lamp right here with an eagle on it that I think is pretty cool, which I just said. So anyways, cool. Yep, so.
There's some more pretty cool things back here.
Yeah, more cool things back here. This is the elevator. Obviously original to the building. It's built into the second floor. I'll show you whenever we get up there. Something else pretty cool is all of these receipts right here, just stacked up. I mean, like, I don't even know how many receipts that is. Again, some of these will be for sale on my site at some point in the future, so stay tuned for that. Also, there are these really cool wooden bins with the same beadboard detail as a lot of the other stuff in the building. So these, I'm not exactly sure what they were used for. Could have been produce, potatoes, things like that. But I'm definitely going to find somewhere to use this around the homestead farm. These are awesome. I'm super excited to be keeping them. I love them. And now, what you've all been waiting for. Let's go upstairs. We decided to just put these ladders here and climb up the ladders instead of using the elevator. So let's go upstairs. All right, now y'all can come up and please don't fall on the ladders. That wouldn't be good. So here we are. This is the upstairs. I'm so excited to finally show you guys the upstairs. So I know I didn't actually use the elevator, but I will in the future when we get it going and it's a little more safe to use. I will definitely show you how it works. But for now, let's just take a look at it from the second floor. So down here, it says Energy Elevator Company, Philadelphia. I also noticed that there's a number right here, 241, and it's the same on the other side. So I don't exactly know what that means, but if any of you do, feel free to leave it in the comments below. We have the same beadboard paneling here, super consistent throughout the building. And the star of the show is the huge gears that run the elevator. So I'm not even entirely sure where to start in here because there are so many exciting, cool things that I'll just have to go in depth about in the future. But just to pick something random up, this is a cash book from the post office, which this building was a general store and post office in the past. And I mean, it's a receipt book. There are hundreds, if not literally thousands of papers in here, old papers from 1900 on. This one is from 1928. So there's just incredible stuff up here that I'm so excited to show you. So let's go back to the center of the room and I'll show you some items that are really standing out to me that I've been dying to show you. In this whole section of the upstairs, there obviously are books strewn everywhere. This is where the majority of the really old antique items are in the store, all up here on the second level. I could literally pick anything up. This is a knife sheath. Knife sheath. It says Thomas Rowe on it. I mean, this is real leather. Pick up the next closest thing to me, an old book. There's an awesome trunk over here that I haven't even really touched. I mean, every item that you touch up here has some kind of story to it. And maybe we'll even be able to figure out where some of these items actually came from because truly everything I touch up here fills me with wonder. So I'm excited to find out along with all of you. So once I'm done kind of figuring out what everything is up here and going through it with all of you, I'm gonna start turning this into my living space. So this whole area over here is gonna sort of be my creative space where I'll have my drums and guitars and music stuff, my writing desk, who knows what else. It'll all be over here. This is just gonna be an open living space where I'll probably hang out with my friends on the couch. That's sort of the idea that I have for this area. So if we look at this side of the wall, this area, I kind of want to do like a kitchenette area. Obviously, I'm going to have a full-size kitchen downstairs, but it'll be nice to have something upstairs too. However, I don't have anything locked in stone yet, set in stone. So if you all have any ideas, please let me know because there's so much space, so much room for me to do something really cool. So now we're gonna move from the back of the upstairs to the front of the upstairs, but don't fall in the hole because it might be too heavy for me to lift. Yeah, it's too heavy. It's probably a good thing because there's a literal hole in the floor. So let's move gently and carefully. So this is the first little odd pocket of space. I don't know why this is here, but I'm thinking about potentially using this area as like a little closet for linens, towels. Not really sure yet. Again, if you have ideas, feel free to let me know. It's definitely big enough to be something cool. So we'll see what it turns into. And I think we can move into the first room. So obviously this room needs a little help. The ceiling's not in the best shape. The plaster needs to be completely pulled down and redone. But the first time that I actually came up here, I was pretty surprised at how good of shape it's in. So a lot to do, but not the worst. Something cool about these rooms is that strip that's going across. That's actually called the picture, not the picture strip, but the picture something. And essentially it's where you put the nails in so that they didn't have to put nails in the plaster itself. And then you hang your pictures on that. So that's pretty cool, super historic. This room might be the biggest of the upstairs rooms. I haven't actually measured them, but it kind of feels like it. So this might end up being my bedroom. I guess we'll just see how things play out. The floor in this room needs a little bit of work as well, but again, overall, it's in pretty great shape. Probably my favorite thing about the upstairs is these doors that are just in such good shape. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I mean, the stain is just perfect. Now we can probably go look at the next room. So this is the second bedroom. It's probably what this will end up being, like a guest room type of thing, or an office space. You can see it's filled with old furniture, old books. Got Miss Billy's Decision. We have some more old chairs up here, old tables, old furniture. Seeing all the stuff left up here, I feel like I'm in 1925. It's just awesome. So this room is gonna need probably replastered. Well, maybe not replastered, definitely repainted. I don't know if the plaster is toxic in these rooms. I need to get it tested. But probably the most important part of this room is the hat that's been left here. I mean, how cool is the hat? If you want it, it's yours for a solid 50 cents. So this door is actually pretty cool because it has glass in here. The other ones don't, so that's interesting. But this takes us back to the hallway. Over here, we have the door to the outside. This is actually where the outdoor steps meet with the inside. This door is really not in bad shape. I could probably just lock it up and it would be fine. I don't really know why they put the metal there, but regardless, at some point the steps will be fixed. That's actually the first thing that I started working on in this building. Haven't finished it yet, got tired, it's a lot of work, but we'll get there. That is also the only access to the upstairs. I mean, obviously the elevator, but like there's no other stairs up here. At some point, those will be complete, and then I'll be able to access the inside and the upstairs through the outdoor stairs. And I think that's it for this corner, so I'll take you into the next room. Creepy. I'm just kidding. So this room clearly needs the most work out of all the rooms upstairs. There's a huge hole in the floor right there. Plaster's coming off the wall and the ceiling. There's holes in that wall that are peeking into the living space. So needs quite a bit of work. I don't know for sure yet what I'm going to use this room for. I'm thinking second bedroom. So there will be my room, maybe the office over there, and then this will be the guest room. But only time will tell. So this room actually connects to the main hallway, so we'll just go through the hallway back to the living room. So now you've kind of gotten the lay of the land upstairs. Obviously, in future videos, I'm going to be going into detail in certain areas, diving through everything that I'm finding. So stay tuned for that. Subscribe if you want to actually see that. So to wrap up the video, I want to take you all outside and show you some of the details on the exterior of the building. I'll see you out there. We have the stairs here. This will definitely be a spring project, getting these complete, but these lead up to the second floor, the door at the end of the hall, which I showed you previously. And now we'll keep walking back toward the end of the building.
Just so you know, this is fun for me.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. These iron shutters obviously came with the building. I think they're probably one of the coolest parts of the building. I love medieval looking stuff. All right, let's go to the back. So we're at the back door. Look at the awesome signs. They're so cool. And 2 more iron shutters to the left and right. The windows behind them are not in great shape, so I probably won't be able to open those until I get new windows in. Also, sorry for the audio, it's the snow melting and dripping. I'm so excited to get new doors in the back. And now let's go over to the shed. So this is the shed that I am turning into a tiny home, or it might also be another kind of studio. I have shown this in other videos. In fact, I have a video of me turning this into the tiny house and starting on this, starting on the renovation. So you're welcome to go look at that. So let's move to the backyard. There's so much stuff to trip over back here. So this is the backyard. It's a little bit under an acre. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you know that this is going to be vegetable garden. I'll have chickens back here, flowers growing back here, a flower farm. So I have big plans for this outdoor space. I'm so excited to get the land cleared so I can start doing that. One of the main reasons why I actually bought this property is because it had all this land and I've wanted to work the land for the longest time. So this is truly, having this outdoor space is a dream come true for me. And a lot of my content in the future is going to be around gardening, baking, cooking the food that I grow. So I am super excited to get to that point. It's just a matter of time. So that is going to conclude the tour. I hope that you all enjoyed watching it. I know it's been a long time coming. If you want to follow me on Instagram, it's at holistic__Emma, and TikTok is at holistic_Emma. And before we sign off, I want to extend a massive thanks to my cousin, Andrew Laird of Buzz Off Productions, for filming this video. His incredible eye for detail and storytelling brought this tour to life in a way that truly would not have been possible without him. Go follow him on Instagram. It's at Buzz Off Productions, and I will have his info in the description below. I will see you all very soon in another video. Bye. Time for an updated. Now I can't make them rhyme. Okay.
Just throw out a couple ones and you'll see if you like them later.
Okay. All right.
I wasn't even smiling.
Anytime there's something that I'm just not naturally like off the cuff, I giggle.